What if the most shocking thing about the 2027 GMC Hummer H5 isn't its size, its power, or even its unmistakable presence, but the fact that this next-generation SUV may be smarter, more luxurious, and far easier to live with than anyone expected? Look closely, because hidden beneath this armored design are future-ready technologies and unexpected upgrades that could completely redefine what a Hummer is supposed to be. Welcome, where we look beyond dramatic bodywork and headline numbers to understand what a vehicle could genuinely feel like from behind the wheel. And the Hummer H5 deserves that deeper examination, because this isn't simply an old-school off-roader dressed in futuristic lighting. It appears to be a deliberate attempt to combine military-inspired toughness, electric-era intelligence, limousine-grade comfort, and everyday family usability in one extraordinary machine. Stay with me, because one of its most important innovations may not be visible from the outside at all. And it could be the feature that separates this SUV from every other luxury off-roader entering the next decade. The first impression is pure authority. The H5 doesn't approach quietly or politely. It occupies the road with an almost architectural sense of mass, using an upright body, wide shoulders, heavily sculpted fenders, and a long, imposing hood to create the kind of presence modern crossovers have largely abandoned. While so many new SUVs are becoming smoother, lower, and increasingly similar, this Hummer moves in the opposite direction. It looks unapologetically square, mechanical, and powerful. But there is more sophistication here than the shape initially reveals. The front end is dominated by a broad, illuminated grille treatment that reinterprets the classic Hummer identity for a digital generation. Vertical lighting elements create a recognizable signature from a distance, while the slim upper lamps give the vehicle a focused, almost watchful expression. The lighting system could do far more than simply illuminate the road. Adaptive matrix technology may selectively shade approaching traffic, project guidance onto difficult terrain, and widen the light pattern when the vehicle detects pedestrians, animals, or obstacles near the roadside. Below that lighting signature sits a technical, layered bumper with integrated recovery points, underbody protection, and carefully shaped openings for cooling and aerodynamic control. That last detail matters, because making a vehicle like this efficient is a serious engineering challenge. The H5 will never slice through the air like a low sports sedan, but active grille shutters, air curtains on the front wheels, a controlled underbody, and a roof spoiler could reduce turbulence without weakening its visual character. Then there are the wheels. Large black alloys wrapped in aggressive all-terrain rubber reinforce the SUV's off-road purpose, yet the wheel design appears refined enough for an upscale urban environment. This is where the H5 begins to reveal its dual personality. Park it beside a luxury hotel and it looks expensive. Place it on a rocky trail and it looks prepared. Very few vehicles can move between those worlds without appearing compromised in one of them. The body sides are muscular but disciplined, with squared wheel arches, substantial doors, dark privacy glass, and a roof system engineered to carry real equipment rather than merely looking adventurous. Flush or semi-flush door hardware could improve airflow, while reinforced side steps may deploy automatically when passengers approach. Cameras mounted around the vehicle would provide a virtual view of the terrain beneath the front axle, making tight obstacles easier to navigate despite the Hummer's considerable dimensions. At the rear, the design remains upright and functional. Vertical taillamps frame a wide tailgate, while the high-mounted lighting makes the vehicle visible through dust, rain, or snow. The substantial bumper, exposed recovery hardware, and metallic skid protection make the H5 appear capable of surviving situations that would make an ordinary luxury SUV turn around immediately. Yet the surfaces remain clean enough to avoid looking like an aftermarket modification project. It has the visual drama of a custom-built machine, but the coherence of a factory-developed flagship. And then you open the door. This is where the H5 delivers its first major surprise, because the cabin doesn't feel like the interior of a rugged utility vehicle. It feels like a high-end digital lounge placed inside an armored shell. The dashboard stretches across the cabin with a deeply integrated panoramic display, combining the driver information panel, navigation, vehicle settings, entertainment, and off-road data into one continuous visual environment. Instead of covering the dashboard with screens simply to look modern, the interface appears designed around context. During normal driving, the driver sees speed, range, navigation, and assistance information. Move off-road, and the layout could transform automatically to show pitch, roll, tire pressure, suspension height, traction distribution, and camera feeds. Connect a trailer, and the system could prioritize blind zone monitoring, hitch alignment, load estimates, and trailer stability information. This adaptive approach is far more useful than forcing the driver to search through menus while conditions are changing. And this is where artificial intelligence could become one of the H5's defining features. The system may learn preferred seat positions, cabin temperatures, lighting themes, suspension settings, and frequently visited destinations. More importantly, it could understand the situation around the vehicle. Imagine approaching a difficult trail and asking the Hummer which driving mode is appropriate. Instead of giving a generic answer, the onboard intelligence could analyze camera images, wheel slip, gradient, weather information, and mapping data before recommending a suspension height and traction configuration. On the highway, it might suggest a charging stop based not only on remaining range but also on elevation, wind, temperature, traffic, and the weight of passengers or cargo. That is the hidden transformation of this SUV. Its intelligence isn't merely entertainment, it becomes part of the driving hardware. Fortunately, the physical controls haven't disappeared completely. Important functions appear to remain within easy reach around the center console, including climate settings, drive modes, ride height, and terrain systems. That balance matters in a vehicle expected to operate in demanding environments. A touchscreen is convenient when parked, but a solid rotary controller can be far more reassuring when the cabin is moving over broken ground. Material quality appears equally serious. Soft leather, precisely stitched surfaces, dark metal trim, textured carbon-inspired details, and warm ambient illumination create an environment that feels rich without becoming delicate. The orange gold lighting traces the dashboard, console, door panels, and speaker surrounds, emphasizing the width of the cabin and giving the black interior a dramatic nighttime atmosphere. Look upward, and the ceiling introduces another unexpected feature, a starlight-style illumination system surrounded by a subtle perimeter light. In a traditional luxury sedan, that might feel decorative. Here it creates an extraordinary contrast with the H5's rugged exterior. Outside, the vehicle looks ready to cross a desert. Inside, passengers sit beneath a private constellation. The front seats appear broad, heavily cushioned, and supportive, with heating, ventilation, massage functions, and adjustable side bolsters. The driving position should remain commanding, but improved seat geometry and a lower dashboard could prevent the cabin from feeling closed in. Large windows provide strong outward visibility, while digital mirrors and high-resolution cameras help compensate for the thick pillars and wide body. Rear passengers may receive the most dramatic upgrade. Individual captain's chairs, large entertainment displays, powered leg supports, deep reclining functions, and a substantial center console transform the second row into a genuine executive space. The chairs shown here look closer to business-class seating than conventional SUV furniture, complete with pillows, layered quilting, and generous cushioning. This is not luxury created by adding glossy trim to a normal cabin. It is luxury created through space, quietness, isolation, and control. Passengers can adjust climate zones, lighting, media, seat settings, and window shades without reaching toward the front. Noise cancellation technology could use the audio system to reduce tire roar and wind turbulence, an especially important feature when the H5 is running on large all-terrain tires. The third row, assuming the production configuration maintains one, will determine whether this becomes a true family flagship or primarily a four-person luxury machine. The H5's tall roof and squared rear body should allow more usable headroom than coupe-shaped SUVs. But the battery structure or underfloor hardware must be packaged carefully to avoid an awkward knees-up seating position. A powered sliding second row and wide rear doors would make access easier, while USB-C connections, air vents, cup holders, and storage areas would ensure the final row feels intentional rather than temporary. Cargo practicality should be another strength. The vertical tailgate and boxy roofline create usable volume all the way to the rear corners, unlike heavily sloped SUVs that sacrifice space for styling. Fold the rear seats and the H5 could carry camping equipment, bicycles, photography gear, or luggage for a long family trip. An electric version may also offer a front storage compartment for charging cables, recovery equipment, or items passengers want separated from the main cabin. But a Hummer cannot survive on comfort and screens alone. It needs power that feels effortless, traction that feels unbreakable, and suspension capable of controlling serious mass. The most logical foundation would be an advanced electric architecture, potentially offered in multiple output levels. A dual motor system could provide strong all-wheel drive performance for mainstream versions, while a higher specification might use 3 motors for greater acceleration and more precise torque control. The important number, however, is not simply horsepower. It is how intelligently that force reaches the ground. Electric motors can adjust torque almost instantly, allowing the H5 to control individual wheels with extraordinary precision. On loose sand, that could keep momentum smooth without unnecessary wheel spin. On wet pavement, it could stabilize the vehicle before the driver fully recognizes a loss of grip. During low-speed rock crawling, the immediate response of an electric motor allows exact movement without building engine revs or waiting for a transmission to react. A range-extending or hybrid derivative also makes sense for drivers who travel far beyond reliable charging infrastructure. Rather than treating electrification as a single solution for every owner, GMC could use several powertrain strategies depending on market needs. What matters is preserving the Hummer's ability to travel confidently into remote areas. Acceleration should feel startling for something this large, but the H5's character should not be defined by drag race theatrics. The real achievement would be making its power controllable. A progressive accelerator, strong regenerative braking, and carefully calibrated brake blending could make the SUV feel smooth in traffic despite its performance potential. The suspension system may be even more important than the motors. Adaptive air suspension could lower the body at highway speeds to improve stability and efficiency, raise it for obstacles, and automatically level the vehicle when carrying passengers or cargo. Electronically controlled dampers would continuously adjust firmness, keeping the body composed on fast roads while allowing greater wheel movement off pavement. Rear wheel steering could dramatically improve maneuverability. At low speeds, the rear wheels would turn opposite the fronts, reducing the turning circle and making parking far less intimidating. At higher speeds, they could turn in the same direction to improve lane change stability. A diagonal movement mode similar to the crab-style systems associated with modern Hummer engineering could help the H5 clear tight rocks, narrow trails, or awkward parking situations. Does that mean it will drive like a small SUV? Of course not. Physics still matters. This will remain a large, heavy machine, and no software can erase its width or mass. But intelligent chassis systems could make it feel more accurate, more predictable, and less exhausting than its appearance suggests. On the highway, advanced hands-free assistance could manage lane positioning, speed, following distance, and approved automated lane changes. The system may use high-definition mapping, radar, cameras, and driver monitoring sensors to reduce fatigue without pretending the driver is unnecessary. That distinction is vital. The best assistance technology doesn't encourage carelessness. It supports awareness. In urban environments, a 360-degree camera system, automatic emergency braking, rear cross-traffic detection, blind zone intervention, and pedestrian recognition would become essential rather than optional. The H5's cameras could produce a transparent body view, allowing drivers to see virtual images of the ground beneath the vehicle. Automatic parking assistance may position the SUV in spaces that look almost impossible from the driver's seat. Safety would extend beyond avoiding collisions. The battery enclosure should be protected by reinforced structures and substantial underbody shielding, while the high-strength passenger cell manages impact forces around the cabin. Interior sensors could detect an unattended child or pet, monitor passenger movement, and adjust airbag deployment according to seating position. If the vehicle senses driver unresponsiveness, it may slow safely, activate warning lights, and contact emergency services. Over-the-air updates would allow the H5 to improve after purchase. Infotainment functions, charging strategy, assistance features, and energy management software could evolve without a dealership visit. However, owners will expect transparency. Core functions must remain dependable even without a data connection, and useful features should not be hidden behind excessive subscriptions. In a vehicle positioned as a premium technological flagship, long-term software support will matter almost as much as leather quality or horsepower. Emotionally, the H5 occupies a fascinating position. It carries more visual aggression than a Cadillac Escalade IQ, feels more theatrical than a Rivian R1S, and projects a different kind of confidence from a Mercedes G-Class or Land Rover Defender. Some competitors focus on traditional luxury. Others emphasize minimalist electric efficiency. The Hummer's identity is about excess controlled by intelligence. That combination will not appeal to everyone. Drivers who want discreet transportation may find it too bold. People living around narrow streets may question its size. Buyers seeking maximum efficiency will have lighter, more aerodynamic options. But for the person who wants one vehicle to function as a luxury flagship, long-distance cruiser, family transporter, lifestyle machine, and serious off-road tool, the H5 presents an unusually compelling idea. It is designed for the buyer who sees practicality and drama as compatible rather than opposite. Someone who may spend Monday commuting through the city, Friday carrying passengers to an airport, and Saturday heading toward a trail, beach, mountain cabin, or remote campsite. It is also for drivers who want an electric or electrified vehicle without losing the mechanical confidence and visual presence associated with traditional four-wheel drives. And that may be the most important reason the 2027 GMC Hummer H5 stands out. It doesn't ask the future SUV to become anonymous. It suggests technology can make a vehicle cleaner, smarter, safer, and easier to control without removing its identity. The exterior still looks formidable. The cabin still feels indulgent. The capability remains central to the experience. Yet behind all of that is a digital nervous system constantly analyzing traction, energy, traffic, terrain, passenger comfort, and the road ahead. Old SUVs ask drivers to accept discomfort in exchange for capability. New luxury crossovers often ask them to sacrifice character in exchange for refinement. The H5 is attempting something far more ambitious: capability without punishment, luxury without fragility, and advanced technology without turning the vehicle into an appliance. That is why this machine feels less like another model entering an already crowded market and more like a preview of where flagship SUVs are heading. It is bold, imperfectly rational, highly technical, and impossible to ignore. And when the illuminated grille appears in the mirror, the message will be unmistakable. The Hummer has not returned to repeat its past. It has returned to reinvent what comes next. Share your thoughts on whether the H5's combination of electric intelligence, extreme capability, and executive luxury is the future you want from GMC. And if this breakdown gave you a clearer understanding of the vehicle beyond the dramatic visuals, consider liking the video and subscribing to The Car Analyst for more thoughtful automotive analysis.